Where is Kingman? It's snuggled up in northern Arizona. It's a crossroads in the middle of everywhere. 2 hours from Las Vegas, 1 hour from destinations like Lake Havasu City and the Grand Canyon. Some of the most scenic sunrises and sunsets, high desert scenery in the entire country. A place for adventurers and outdoorsmen. A place where the mild climate and average 70-degree temperatures attract those looking to retire or vacation. To live here is to find something special every day and look forward to. Rich history, growing culture is buzzing in this once small western town. This is a story about the Kingman life. Our unique community and attraction to those around the country and the world, told by our local storyteller, author of 18 books, and historian, Jim Hinckley. Learn something new, share something old, be part of the Kingman life.
Native American trade route that connected the Hopi and Zuni Pueblos with the tribes on the coast of California coursed through here. Important oasis on that trade route was what is now known as Beale Springs. An important oasis also for the Surbat clan of the Wallapai tribe. Father Garces camped here during his expeditions along that Native American trade route in 1776. The hum of traffic and the sound of trains, that's the theme song for Kingman, Arizona. Dusty little desert crossroads where the past and the future intersect. That thread of transportation runs deep here. It's kind of fitting. We talk about Kingman being the crossroads of the past and future. Today, these stunning scenic landscapes serve as a backdrop for the Surbat Foothills hiking and mountain bike trail system, one of the finest in the state of Arizona.
A wonderful electronic invention I want you to see. It looks
In 1926, US 66 replaced the National Old Trails Road and a legend was born. From its inception, that road's always had the best press and publicity, and today it's probably not only the most famous highway in America, it's the most famous highway in the world. What really makes that kind of interesting is the fact that Route 66 officially no longer exists. It hasn't since 1985 when it was decertified. But that hasn't dampened the enthusiasm and the excitement about the old road. It's made evident every year with the Route 66 Fun Run. When automobile enthusiasts and fans of the old Double Six gather for one of the oldest celebrations of that storied old highway. The fun begins, of course, in Seligman, Arizona, as the people gather and Angel Delgadillo, the barber of Seligman, the father of the Renaissance movement on the storied old highway, gives them a big send-off and they head west towards Kingman. This event, held on the first weekend in May every year, transforms the Route 66 corridor into a literal, living, breathing time capsule. Places like Grand Canyon Caverns are again packed to the rafters with hungry tourists and people waiting in line for a tour of the caverns. The parking lot's filled with 57 Chevys and 1940 Buick convertibles. And really quite an exciting event, to say the very least. There's another chapter in transportation history associated with Kingman, Arizona: air traffic. 1928 and 29, Charles Lindbergh put together a little company, TAT. Amelia Earhart was here for the ribbon cutting, one of the first viable passenger air services, and it blended air travel with rail travel, shortening dramatically the time from coast to coast. Charles Lindbergh stayed here at the Hotel Beale while he was putting this together in the first airfield in Kingman. The next chapter in Kingman's aviation history dates to World War II and creation of the Kingman Army Airfield. Today it's the Kingman Airport and Industrial Park, but in 1942 the airfield was front and center as part of America's arsenal of democracy. This is one of the largest flexible gunnery schools in the United States. Gunnery crews and navigators for B-17s, B-24s trained here, and after the war became one of the largest storage depots for military aircraft in the world. How did you get started with Route 66, Sam?
The first ever visit was 2005, and I came over. I was rallying then, and I was lucky enough we had a bit of support from Subaru in New Zealand, and we came over here in 2005 to Laughlin, and we did the Laughlin International Rally, which was a US United States Championship rally, and the event. Before the event we came out to Oatman. A lot of the stages were around Kingman, out Peach Springs. So a lot of the roads that we did were off 66. And the days in and around the event, before and after, I spent, having looks around 66, and it's something that I wanted to do. So we did the event, and then a few years later I bought a motorhome in Pennsylvania. And I caught up with Route 66 again in St. Louis. And that was 2011, and I've done it a few times since. It's just one of those things that once you do it once, you want to do more.
You mentioned the rally driving. I've driven the Buck and Doe Road a lot, and I know that was one of the rally points. What was your time on that?
I think a lot of those the average speed for the stages was like 117 mile an hour as an average. The other good stage or great stage that we did was the Diamond Creek, so starting in Peach Springs and ran all the way down to the Colorado River. And again, you've most likely done that road. The average speed there was about 102 mile an hour.
That road is the only road where you can drive to the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
And to do that at speeds of 130, 40 mile an hour, that's something that I'll remember forever, going down and being able to rally down at whatever speed you could possibly allow yourself to do into the bottom of the Grand Canyon. The scenery was a highlight.
It was a blur, but it was a highlight, huh?
The other one I would have loved if it was used would be the road from Oatman. Oh. That's something that I'd love them to close off and have a motorsport event one side to the other.
There's been some talk about doing that, having a motorsport race on that section. In fact, all the way from Topok to Seligman, there's been a talk about doing something of that nature. It'd be really tough. That'd be almost like the 1950s Mexican road race. It'd be really a difficult thing to do. And now you started Gilligan's Route 66 tours.
After I came over in 2011 with the motorhome, Roger, who was a friend that I kept in touch with, he was one of the organisers of the rally, and he'd retired, but he was working on helping a friend at the river in Laughlin. And when I saw him, he was dressed up in the old Love Boat style uniform, and I just nicknamed him Gilligan because he looked like Gilligan. And we got more and more people that wanted to go and do 66 around Oatman, around Kingman, and he would take them on a Gilligan's tour. So that's where it evolved from, and it's just built from there.
You've got a tour coming up this October, but of course being I'm kind of addicted to cars, but that vintage tour, that's a great niche market idea. That's a brilliant, brilliant idea.
Yeah, it's been tough because, generally speaking, someone that owns a pre-1955 vehicle in New Zealand is at the point in time of life that they're not full of, risk-taking. So it's been a big challenge for a lot of them to, in reality, most of them are in their mid-70s, to pack up their right-hand drive pre-1955 vehicle and ship it through to Chicago. So that's something that we're doing in September, October. And then we're doing in 19, which will coincide with the fun run in April, a pre-75 event with the same kind of thing where you bring a car from New Zealand. There's certainly a market for it. Some would say, well, why wouldn't you come over here and buy a car and use it and take it back? But there's a certain number of people that have owned a car that perhaps their father's owned that's been in the family for a long time. So to bring a vehicle of that era to do a road with the history around the era is a draw card.
And they're familiar, it's a vehicle they're familiar with. So they'd be, wanting to, the familiarity would help a lot. How many people, what's the oldest vehicle you have for this race or travel?
At the moment it's a 1917 Model T.
That's
so
fun.
There's a good range, there's a good mix, really good mix.
Do I dare ask about Truxton? Or what possessed you to do this?
That's just something that, if it had happened a little quicker than it has, it would be good, but it's something that I can see, because we travel the road with tours, there is a demand still. A lot of New Zealand and Australian travellers want to be able to sit down at night. They don't want to have to lug suitcases upstairs. They want to be able to park outside their old motel unit, sit down, talk to each other, enjoy the night. And, there's a shortage of properties like that across the road still, of good quality. And so with that, with a diner, they can have breakfast there. It is only small, but there's, there's certainly a market for that.
I think so too. Another one market for that is the bicycle on Route 66, because that is just becoming just huge. I know of a couple tour companies now that have organized Route 66 tours just for bicycles, and so that would be another market on this. Yeah. You've seen the road change a lot in the last few years, for the better or for worse, I think.
I think I don't think it's got any worse. I think overall it's probably getting better. There's time will erode, a lot of good things, including people. But there's a lot of good things happening on the road too. There's a lot of good work being done to restore old properties. And it's just a matter, I think, of making sure that, we don't turn it into too much of a theme park.
Right.
Keep a bit of authenticity, but make it entertaining.
That's always a balance, trying to keep it authentic, but not too authentic.
Yeah, it has to be entertaining, but it has to appear, it has to still be real. The people that, that are on the road, they still need to have a true passion for it, not just a, $5 moneymaker.
An authentic American experience, or at least that perception.
Yeah.
Is the deal. Sam, thank you.
Thank you.
For taking the time to talk about this today. I'm glad you could come for the fun run.
It's always a good event. We love coming here.
The weather's always keeps it interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, rain last year, wind this year.
I've seen one year with snow, so maybe next year we can do 110.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
No worries.
Route 66 has always been a stop on the way to. But increasingly, it's also a destination for those looking for the Kingman life. Fun, adventure, good times, memory-making times. Kingman, Arizona. Crossroads of the past, crossroads of the past and future. Quite an amazing place. Well, folks, until we meet again, take care. Adios, mi amigos.
Say hello to a new friend on an old road. Take a 2-lane trip of memories into mysteries unknown. Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's America. Jim Hinckley's America.